Relationships get boring, they get stale. But as human beings, we tend to want some excitement in the bedroom. Have you ever thought of introducing sex toys into your bedroom? Like this. Is there more to sex toys than this? Today on Mons and Cuddles, we will explore the topic introducing sex toys into the bedroom. Like this. My name is Akusia. This is Mons and Cuddles. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mons and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. Look, today is going to be like, I want to use a certain word to describe today's show. I mean, have you seen? Today is going to be intense. So, let's get right into it. I'm doing the show today with Mystic. Yeah, welcome back.
Many thanks.
And the freshest face on Mons and Cuddles, Adiza.
Glad to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
There is a story that we have to talk about. I want to read it and then let's see if we can help our sister. Dear Mons and Cuddles, my name is Na. I am 38 years old and married to a good man who is 48 years old. When I married my husband about 6 years ago, I didn't know much about orgasms and sexual satisfaction until quite recently. At a church event for married women on how to satisfy their husbands and enjoy sex, we were told the pleasurable nature of sex when one reaches orgasm. The way they explained the process to me, I realized I have not had that experience with my husband yet, because I don't remember for the life of me getting all those feelings they were talking about. My husband does not really do anything extraordinary when it comes to sex, as in sex in different places of the house, etc. As was explained to us at the seminar, ours is always in the bedroom 2 days in a week, but it is always on our bed. Fast forward, my best friend and confidant gifted me a vibrator and told me the feeling I will get from it is what they were describing at the seminar. Akosia, the feeling was so intense, I have never ever felt that before. I peed, which I later found was squirt on myself so many times in that one-time experience. The feeling lasted more than a week on me. Here are my issues though. 1. How do I tell my husband about this feeling and my new toy? Will he be comfortable to use the vibrator on me? How do we introduce sex toys into the bedroom without my husband thinking that 1, I don't get satisfaction from my encounter with him, 2, without it being an addiction? My initial thought was, is it the church's business to teach women how to reach orgasm?
The church has realized that its members are being competed for by other agents in society. So if you say members should not go out on Vows Day, the church was compelled to bring in programs to attract them into the church fold on the D-Day. If you say you want to save them, you don't want them to go into activities that will bring them trouble. It's the same way we always say, religious women are boring. Religious women are pious in the beginning, but once you marry, you must be able to fulfill your marital duties. And so the church realizes that if its members fail in satisfying their partners, they'll go outside looking for what they seek, because it is out there. It's an open market. It's either you provide a service or someone else does. So I don't fault the church for organizing such programs for their female members, because it is really needed. Had it not been that meeting, our dear lady wouldn't have experienced what she experienced. But the question then is, in 6 years of marriage, the first thing is the age gap. There's a 10-year gap between the man and the woman. I know some women say they prefer elderly men because of the experience. So the problem now is this man is not fulfilling that role. He has proven himself not to be adept or skilled in that department. Other than that, in 6 years, at least, even our grandparents or ancestors who bore 20 children, 16 children, 30 children, certainly it wasn't only missionary.
Were they
performed.
were they
Certainly it
cousins of Jalai?
it wouldn't have been missionary, because you can't do the same things and produce 30 children. You by all means try other things, because I mean it's a way of life. Human beings are curious. You can't always be mommy daho. No, you know, and that's why even with them they said two bunching. They had a two bunching. That is just, you know, kneeling or how do you call bending.
Bending, yeah.
You know, and so even with the ancestors, they proved themselves to be, you know, curious and exploring things. So how much more a modern man?
So my thing is, how does she open that conversation with her husband? How does she tell the husband? Because she cannot keep this to herself.
So I don't think the solution to Na's problem is sex toys. Even though sex toys can enhance sex in a relationship, that is not the fundamental problem in Na's relationship. It's a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of communication, it's a lack of skill. Like, perhaps she didn't even know she was missing anything. Maybe her husband also doesn't know. Maybe he has no idea that, oh, sex is, it's not likely, but maybe he has no idea that I'm supposed to do this to please my woman. And she didn't even know herself to ask. And one thing I believe is that it's not a man's responsibility to pleasure his partner. Sex is a two-way street. It's give and take. I mean, he can do his best, but what works for one person may not necessarily work for the other. So if you don't provide some guidance, if you don't even know yourself what works, how are you going to guide this man to please you? So Na needs to make an effort to learn some more about her body, about what pleases her, about what exists out there in the world of the fantastic, wonderful world of sex. Like, there's just so much to explore and discover. And she needs to start a dialogue with her husband. She needs to let him know that there's more to sex that she wants to explore with him. Like, she wants to take further steps with him. She thinks it would be nice if they do this, if they do that. It's not necessarily straight to sex toys, or for 6 years you haven't been pleasing me and then I tried this vibrator and then this vibrator. That would definitely be the wrong approach. Once they start talking about it, they start improving. People have fantastic sex lives without sex toys. Once they start improving, then the sex toys can now come and enhance. But if they don't have the basic set, then she'll use the sex toy to replace her husband, and that is not ideal. They need to be in it together.
And one of her fears was opening the conversation, because I think it's one of the most difficult things to do, is to openly talk about sex with your partner. From
The notes, it's clear they don't have an open channel when it comes to communication, and also you could see that there's some hesitance in the woman voicing her concerns, or having a discussion about things that matter to her, and I find that pretty strange. 10 years is not too wide a gap for you to feel, hey, Bra Kofi, hey, Bra Matthew, hey, Bra, hey, Pacho, no, I mean 10 years is reasonable. You know, it's reasonable in an intimate union. It's not far-fetched. It's not a 30-year gap. There are 30-year gaps. You know, so I think the problem with this relationship or this union is that there's not an open channel for communication. She should be curious. She should be adventurous. She should be assertive. She should be self-assured in herself as a human being, as an adult, as a woman, as a living organism. I wonder how people are able to go about this life, you know, without the pleasures of life. You know, if you don't have the money to enjoy luxurious vehicles, mansions, at least when it comes to relatively cheap, right, you can at least, you know, and get to enjoy these things.
Don't forget, this is Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. I'm doing this interesting full table discussion with Mystic and Adizah. We'll be right back.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire
inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
Welcome back to Moles and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. So, Adiza, how do we start the conversation into introducing anything new into the bedroom?
You need to know your partner. You need to know what would make your partner receptive. You have to make sure you don't approach it in a way that makes it seem like your partner is insufficient. You know, men's egos are very important.
I mean, I wanted to know, like, if you have a husband or a wife who is stiff, you know, who is not adventurous, and yet, you know, these things are exciting. These things, they make the marriage, you know, they take the marriage from one boredom place to an exciting place. So how do you, you know, I don't know whether it's a good way to say convince them, but how do you do this discussion without they feeling like, who did I marry?
That's why it's so important to have like good communication in any relationship, not just a marriage. So when you think or know that your partner is stiff, like you called it, then you need to be a little more cautious in your approach. Don't just say, oh, I went to church, I heard there's something called orgasm, we've been married for 6 years, I've never had it before, then I got this vibrator. No. In fact, don't even talk about the vibrator yet. Start the discussion on, maybe focus on how you want to try new things with him, you know. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. We've been married for 6 years. We've been doing it this way. It might be fun if perhaps we try it this way. One thing I wanted to suggest is a man can be doing the exact same thing, but the way the woman's body reacts to, so if he's doing pam, 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 and she's lying there, versus he's doing pam, 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 and she's grinding on him because she knows how to do it, because she's done some research, she's read, the same exact thing he's doing will start to feel good. That's one of my issues generally with women putting all the blame on the man. You can't just lie there and expect him to make you come. You need to do your part. You need to move. So if you know how to move, you know how to grind in such a way that will start to feel good, and the more you're enjoying it, chances are he's going to enjoy it more because he can see that, hey, I'm doing something right. Yes. So you can be subtle. Let me show you something. I know we haven't reached there yet, but this is an example of, so the world of sex toys is so vast, but when people hear sex toys, usually they tend to think dildos, vibrators.
Right.
Yes, but even lubricants, games, all these things fall under the world of sex toys. This is something called nipple nibbler. It just looks like a lip balm.
Yeah. I mean,
But
when I said, I'm like,
what is this, right? So it's a tingle balm that you put on your nipples. It makes them tingly, so already the sensation is a bit heightened, but then it tastes sweet. So something that normally tastes like skin, today your husband is kissing you and then he sucks your nipple and it's like, like something is different, like it's exciting, it's just something new. So they're little, so you don't even have to have a discussion with him about this. All he knows that, hey, so your nipples taste like chocolate, like what happened, what's going on? So there are little subtle ways she can start. She can wear lingerie to bed, she can like massage him, like there are little, she can be subtle and then work him up to it.
what if the man is not open at all, like he doesn't want to hear anything about, let's enhance this or let's take it to the next level?
The key thing is know your audience. Know your audience. As in business, as in politics, same with intimacy. Know your audience. So if you know your audience, you know this is what will work, or this is what you can lay on them, to what stage, what point to relax, when to scale it, and then when to be intense. Let's say this man, this husband is a very reserved man, not open-minded. So how would this woman go about it? Madam has given us, one bit of it, where she could just use that on her nipples, and then when the papa comes and sucks on there, like, damn, I mean, this is different, But then again, you must also do the work, put in the work to know what gives him pleasure, what gives him the kick. You should do that investigation to find out, because no matter what the person is, lions even have sex raw and lie on their backs. The leader, your company leader, your company president, that everybody fears. Some workers fear. You say it's coming, or headmaster, hey, teacher is coming, headmaster is coming. That same headmaster can be humbled by a little girl, and this headmaster, blah. So no matter what, whoever your husband is, there's something that tickles him, and so you, the woman, in making love to him, the boring love, just observe, be observant. When I touch this, you even in his boring state, you could say that when you touch it here, it sends shockwaves. Right. When you kiss him here, it's different from when you do it. So make the notes, and then work on where he gets electrified more. When you do that to him, he will become disarmed, and then tell us, oh, babe, there are a few things I'd like to, introduce or work on you. Can I please? Because it's something you want to lay on him gently. So you don't want to come out as, oh, I've gone to hear this in town, so I want to do it. No. So just, put him in there, kick him.
Even before you get married, there are certain factors that your partner, like there are certain things that are so fundamental. Marriage is for life. So you should be marrying your friend. You should be marrying someone you can talk to, someone who cares about your needs, someone whose needs you care about. Like there's so many basic things that when those things are not right, it makes everything else harder. So it's important right from day one to, even in picking your partner, there's certain check marks. That's why not anybody can marry anybody. You have to pick your partner very cautiously and wisely, and make sure you understand each other and you gel.
We need to be self-assured in ourselves. You don't have to be only enlightened economically, financially, spiritually, and whatever, politically, socially. You need to be enlightened sexually. You need to make it a point that I need to know as much as I can about this field. You are a living organism. You are a living organism. Put in the work, and we are lucky in this day and age. Men used to bring us magazines, porn magazines. They brought the influx. They got magazines, brought it before you could have access and go to the whoa, this could be done. You don't have to worry about that. WhatsApp groups are there for you. Facebook groups are there for you.
Really? I'm not in any of the groups. Please put me in some group.
All this Telegram is there for you. Leaks are dropping, videos are dropping. Even there are teaching manuals. Teaching manuals, how to handle this, how to work this, it's there. It's there for you. So unless you are just lazy, or you want to be a nun or a monk, you have no business being ignorant. You have no business being naive.
If you do a general survey and you ask people, what's the sex talk you had with your parents? Most people tell you sex is bad. If you have sex, you get pregnant. If we are intentional about raising our children, I have 2 daughters, to understand that responsible sex in a committed relationship is a good thing. Right. Created by God, is meant to be enjoyed. Like, you just have to be responsible about it. Teach them what they need to know. Don't let them go and find out. They shouldn't have to go and watch the porn to find out, or go to a church program 6 years after being married to find out. Like, let them know that it's a thing. Like, you are too young, obviously, but when you are grown and you're in a committed relationship with your husband, this blah blah blah, the basics,
and scale it as you age.
Exactly.
So let's go for a break, and then when we come back, we'll continue. We'll look at this beautiful table. I can't wait. This is Moans and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. We'll be right back.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he
No,
did.
but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next. to be
I
answered.
don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face.
It's not my brother.
Today you are denying funny face.
I don't know him.
You don't know funny face.
It's not my brother.
You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome back to Moons and Cuddles here on Ghana Web TV. As you can see, look, my excitement level has risen so high, like I don't know. Adiza, what kind of people come to your shop? What caliber of people come there?
So it's mostly, I would say, probably 30 to 60 age range. A good mix of men and women, but I think maybe slightly skewed on the side of men. More men than women. Yes, surprisingly so, more men than women. But it's a really good mix. It's usually working class people, mostly married couples, other people coming
So my
in.
interest is, since we are introducing sex toys into the bedroom, what kinds of toys can we use for both the men and the women to, you know, enhance the jiggy jiggy.
So you see the one you're holding?
Yeah.
That's a rabbit vibrator.
Okay.
That's the type of, hold it up this way so they can
Like
see the
this?
side. Yeah. See the two things are like rabbit ears.
Yeah.
So it's called a rabbit vibrator.
Okay.
And that's the most popular type of vibrator worldwide.
Right.
And the reason is because it can stimulate you internally, vaginally, and your clitoris at the same time. So it's like double whammy.
Ooh.
So since we are talking about couples, this one I'm holding here is, let's talk about a plain cock ring before we get to this.
Right.
So this one here is a cock ring.
What is cock ring?
And what it's for is to lock a man's erection in place. So you know there are some men who might struggle to hold their erection for the duration of of intercourse. They
Right.
might lose their erection prematurely. So this, you know, erection is just blood flow to the penis.
Right.
So this ring just locks the blood in the penis so that you can perform, and then when you're done you take it off.
Right,
So that's what
right.
a plain cock ring does. So what they've done is they've put a vibrator attachment on the cock ring.
Thing.
Yes. So when the man wears this, it turns his penis into a rabbit vibrator. Right? So while he's penetrating, then these rabbit ears, let me put it on and pass
Right,
it around.
please do.
These rabbit ears are now stimulating the woman's clitoris. So each time he penetrates, and to pass it to
Please, I want to
her
feel
too. He's very powerful. Very powerful. It's very intense.
Oh my Lord.
So this one, it's not the sex toy. It's your partner still that you're making love with,
Right.
but this is just like an extra punch
Right.
that adds intensity to the intercourse. So that's
it does. I mean,
yeah,
I can
it's-
feel the
it's-
intensity.
that's only the first level. Yeah, it cycles through different functions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when couples come in and they want to start somewhere and they're not too sure where to start. This is normally something I like to recommend that most couples are receptive to, because the man is not going to feel intimidated that you're bringing
something that looks like his penis,
to
yeah.
come and replace him. You're actually
Right.
just adding on. So that's a nice place to start. This one here is a very powerful clitoral stimulator.
Okay.
And it's called a Satisfier. And all you do is place the head portion around the clitoris, and then when you turn it on, it uses pulsing airwaves to stimulate the clitoris. So it's like kind of like a suction without actually touching you. So this is something a partner can use to, like, it's really, really intense. So even for foreplay, a partner can use this to arouse his woman to a, like, nearly their level before they even start. Like,
especially the women that complain that women takes forever to come, blah blah blah.
So this can give you a good head start.
Right.
Or in a situation where the man happened to come before the woman, so the man has finished, he's lost his erection, the woman didn't finish, you can pull out your satisfier and finish it off sharp. So little things like this, just, they give you an edge. Yeah, they've been tailored, they've been researched, they spend billions of dollars on this industry to get something that gives targeted pleasure.
What is this? This looks like Ludo dice.
Okay, so we have lots of sex games. There are dice games, card games, board games, all kinds of games. So this is just a dice game. So you know, Na was the story we talked about earlier. She said same position, same place, probably same time every week. For 6 years.
8 p.m. on Sunday evening.
So these just add some spontaneity to the whole sex act.
Right.
They make it random. So you throw the dice, and the dice will tell you what to do to which part of the body and which part of the house. So there's a car, you do in the car, bathroom, outside, bedroom, your choice, and then it tells you kiss, tickle, suck, caress, and then which part of the body.
I'm getting that one.
So there are many different dice games, and they just make it more less predictable, more interesting, more spontaneous.
Everything that you are saying, it looks like there's some level of misconception out there about
that is the thing, because whenever I have these discussions with people, some people know, but most don't.
Yes.
So they come in thinking we are coming to talk about vibrators and dildos. That's all they've ever heard about. But there's just so much that it doesn't take away from the relationship. It rather adds, it enhances. People are sitting in their labs trying to research pleasure and create things that are going to make your sex life more fulfilling.
But what about the misconception out there that these things can be very addictive?
They can be, as can alcohol, as can food, as can even regular sex. We have sex addicts, anything. So it's a function of the person's personality and how responsible you are in the use. If you're going to lock yourself in your bedroom and use a vibrator morning, afternoon, evening, every day, obviously it's going to start messing with you. You functioning as a fully functional human being. But if you use it responsibly, you have sex, like good regular sex with your partner or by yourself, good intervals, use it responsibly. Most people use it and have healthy relationships. A lot of people are also worried that once their partners try a sex toy, they can no longer be satisfied by a normal mere mortal man. But a sex toy it's a machine. It can't touch you, it can't hold you, it cannot talk to you, it cannot make you, like, especially for women, for us, sex is very emotional, mental, like it's a whole connection thing. So this toy, yes, it will make you come bam, it's very efficient, but it's not going to replace the intimacy and the whole love making that you have with, unless of course you have the type of partner who doesn't care about you. You know, you said, what if the man earlier in the conversation just pretty much, if he doesn't care, then you have needs, you have to take care of yourself. But if you have an understanding partner who's willing to work with you, these things just enhance. You know, people use things around the house. People use whipped cream and honey and all kinds of things from the refrigerator. But these things have actually been tested and manufactured for the purpose, so you know that they are safe to be used in the intimate parts of your body. Yes.
So do we have disadvantages to some of these products?
We do, as always. If you do not use them as they were intended to be used, if for example you have a vibrator that you don't clean properly, you don't store properly, you don't take good care of it, you can give yourself an infection from the vibrator, because you're putting this thing into your body. So you have to treat it like something that is going into your body. That's why it's also important that you are careful where you buy such things from. You should make sure you buy them from a good source. Don't just buy them from anybody selling anything. Oh, that one is cheaper.
Roadside.
It might be cheaper for a bad reason. So do your research, do some research. Don't just take someone's word for it. Know what materials. There are some sex toy materials that are much better, more body safe, they're more hygienic than other sex toy materials. Like silicone, for example, that pink one you're holding, see, it felt really nice. It's silicone, so it's non-porous. So it doesn't have any pores to allow in bacteria and stuff. Some of the other rubber-like type ones, they are porous. Not to say they are bad, but that means you have to take extra care. Exactly, enhanced safety. You have to clean them better, you have to store them better, then you don't keep them as long.
When we put the topic on social media, somebody was claiming that some of these things are the reasons why women don't come. And I'm surprised because I'm seeing these things that even the men can use on their women. So what do you say to people that have such misconceptions about enhancements?
I would concede that sex toys are not for everyone. There might be some open-minded people who just do not like the idea of sex toys. They don't like the feel of sex toys, like they have their own reasons. But I would just say be open-minded, at least. Learn about it. Do a little research. If someone wants to talk about it, listen and then decide for yourself. Don't just decide based on preconceived notions that sex toys are bad or they're addictive or this. No, get the information and decide for yourself.
So, I mean, this is important. Getting to know what some of these things do is important.
Just from interaction with people. There are people who are so grateful. They're like, you saved my marriage. Like, I've been miserable. I didn't know there was something like pleasurable sex until I discovered this little thing. Like, people need help. There are people who are struggling. Apart from the pleasure, we have things like penis pumps that help men who cannot even get the erection to begin with. You can manually pump up the cock ring, like I was showing you.
Yeah.
I have over there an extension condom, so it adds on like 1.5 inches or 2 inches to your penis. If naturally you were not very well endowed, nature cheated you.
Yes.
You can give yourself a little boost. There are things. They just make it better. That's all they're meant to do, is to make sex more pleasurable, is to make it better. That's why we have computers, that's why we have cars, because you have to walk from here to there. This just makes it better, it just enhances
Washing
it.
machines and all.
And if you look at the direction my business has gone, I actually have a 2-part business. I have a gift shop and then I have the adult shop, and we still do both. But when I started, it was mainly a gift shop, with just a little bit of the romantic adult things on the side.
Right.
It has gone like this.
Right.
The adult toys have just overtaken the gifts every month from January to December. There's no month that sex toys are not the best-selling category in my store.
So are we being hypocritical about some of these things?
People are being more open these days. People are more open these days. People are still a little. It's getting better because I go to places and I come to your shop. Then we have conversation. Not like that woman who sells the sex toys. No, like the reception is usually good. It's like, oh, I know your shop. My friend is always talking about you. Do you have this thing? Like, it's becoming open. People come in. They bring their friends. People are embracing. Yeah, people are embracing sex toys a lot more.
So we are bringing the conversation to an end. Adiza, walk us through, what advice do you have for couples on how to use some of these things, so that it doesn't become addiction, as we've always said, so that it can give them the pleasure that they are looking for?
Okay, so you should do your research and know what you are getting yourself into. Like I said, sex toys are not for everyone. There are some couples that are not going to use sex toys in their bedrooms. They're still going to have a banging sex life. So good sex is not automatic. Just be intentional about increasing your skills, increasing your knowledge, just getting better at it, and have an open line of communication with your partner and explore life together.
Just as you find the need to expand your knowledge base, for which you pay so much money and spend so much time, your sex life is equally important. And I'm happy that in the Ghanaian society now, I see more and more people who are sexually liberated, sexually enlightened. The platforms speak for themselves. Women are asking for, stuff now. you have a match, you have to be on your A game, else you'll be totally defeated, you'll be trashed, you'll be well sounded. And so our ladies are, hey, they go in for what they want. They tell you, hey, I want this, or they perform the acts on you, and they are not. They are no longer second-class citizens. They are very first-rate citizens in this country, and we can only ask for more.
And Akosia, we have to commend like platforms like yours that actually make it okay to sit down and have this conversation we're having today. So someone who might not have anyone else to talk to might tune into your show and might learn a thing or two. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. So, I have learned. I hope you too, you have learned. You can cook all the cooking. You can clean all the cleaning. But when it comes to the bedroom, the men are saying they want, what do you even say? We want liberated women in our bedroom. They may not say it to you, but that is what they want. Thank you. So, be open-minded about some of these things. Stop complaining, research. If it's not good for you, it's not good for you. Nobody is forcing you. But if you want to try it, be my guest. This is Moans and Cuddles. My name is Akosia. I did this with Mystic Mike and the beautiful Adiza, owner and CEO of Odrasem. Go there and enhance your sex life. This is Moans and Cuddles. We'll come your way another time. Bye-bye.